welcome if you're new here. My name is Hetty, and on this channel we discuss all things positive, high vibe, and how to use the law of attraction to manifest the life of your dreams. If you haven't already, then hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you do not miss any more wonderful life-changing content like this. Now let's get into today's video. So I bet you have had that feeling before, that gut feeling that is telling you to go for it, whether it be go for a relationship with a specific person, whether it be leave your job and pursue the career of your dreams, whether it be up and all your roots, go traveling, do whatever you want. You've got that gut feeling that is telling you to go for it, that is the right thing, that is the right path to lead you on. But there is something holding you back, and every time you have that feeling, you start justifying in your head as to why you shouldn't do it. That is fear taking over. That is fear of the unknown taking over that part of your life, and it is holding you where you currently are. If you are not seeing any change or any movement in your life and you are unhappy with where you are, it is because you are listening to your ego, you are listening to your inner fear more than you are actually following and trusting your gut and your heart intuition. Our intuition, our heart feeling, that gut feeling is so important and so strong and powerful to follow. It will never lead us down the wrong path. You will have found it before where you have ignored that feeling, and later down the line you will have looked back and said, I wish I'd have just trusted my heart and gone for it because it worked out anyway, or it could have worked out better than I allowed it. So I'm going to explain to you exactly why you are holding on to that fear. Don't worry, it's totally normal. All of us do it. That is why most of us continue to live lives that are maybe mediocre, that we're not happy with, and we never really actually step out of our comfort zone to pursue our dreams. Now, the main reason that we actually decide to ignore our gut feeling, or that feeling that we should do something else than what we are doing, is because we are scared to fail. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, there is no such thing as failure. There is nothing that you could actually fail at. There is only temporary defeat, and that is defined by whether you are able to get back up from that time that you were temporarily defeated and actually carry on and continue forward and still grow from that and learn from that experience. So there's no such thing as total failure. No one totally fails at anything. People continue to get back up and go and try again. If you think of the example as a child when it's learning to walk, it falls down countless amounts of times, but it never stops and gives up and admits to failure. It carries on, even if it doesn't have the embarrassment factor of I look silly falling over, because when we're children we haven't developed that sense of other people will laugh at me, or it might not work out and I'll be embarrassed, and we only develop that when we grow up as adults. So if you take the example of a child learning to walk, if you apply that same absence of fear, then you will start to see so much progress in your life for the better, regardless of the setbacks you may experience on the way. So something really recently that I listened to from Kyle Cease was that we are only afraid of doing something new, trying something new and moving on because we can measure what we could potentially lose, but we cannot measure what we would gain from going out into that experience because we haven't experienced it yet. So the example is, if you're thinking about starting your own business or changing careers, totally changing jobs, and that is what your gut is telling you to do, you're holding yourself in that fear because your mind is saying, yes, but you could lose a really good, company benefits. You could lose an amazing salary. You could lose all the people that you've worked so hard to gain their confidence, their trust, that relationship there. But you do not know what you could actually gain from moving and doing something else. You might be able to see basically, the salary might be a bit better, but you cannot actually measure the exact amount that you would gain from that new experience. So that is why we are often scared to move forward, and we are often scared to embrace the unknown and actually sit there and say, okay, I'm having this feeling is what I'm passionate about, this is what I know I should be doing. I shouldn't be holding on to the past, and I should not be justifying as to why I should stay there. If you have to justify it, it means you shouldn't do it. You don't justify things that are important in your life, like you don't justify your relationship with your children or your parents, like, oh well, they're just great because they buy me food all the time, or you don't have to justify it, you just have that relationship. So it's the same with everything else. You don't have to justify why you should stay there. If you're doing that, it means you should probably move on from whatever situation it is. We are also often very scared to move forward or move into new situations because we have that fear that if we have the expectation of, okay, well, I have this passion and this drive to be in a new job or start my own company, we often hold ourselves back from greatness and following our passion and what we really want to do in life because we are afraid to believe, we're afraid to put all our beliefs and all of our hope and desire onto something new when we cannot measure exactly how it's going to work out, because we fear that it will hurt more if we put more of our energy into it than if we kind of just sit back and just continue to do what we're doing. We are afraid sometimes to admit that we really believe in something because we feel like we will look more stupid if it doesn't work out, or we will hurt more because we feel like, oh, you know, we're up here and we're really dreaming about it, and if it doesn't work we will fall even further. That is not true at all. I always say, if you shoot for the stars, you will land on the moon, and you will all have heard that before. You will not fall further, you will fall to a higher place if it does end up in setbacks, but them setbacks always contribute to growth. It is so important that we experience contrast and setbacks in our life, and we don't have to see them in a negative light. It's all about restructuring that fear around experiencing setbacks into a positive thing. So, okay, I had that setback, you know, I went for that dream job, or I went for that dream person. That didn't happen, but from that I have learned that maybe that wasn't the best way and that wasn't the best thing to do anyway. And by doing this, now I actually see that it will work better, and actually I'll be, you know, even better and more successful in this way. So it's really important to experience setbacks. If you do not view them as anything negative, they will not be negative. You'll just view them as learning experiences. Now, Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, actually failed 10,000 times before he reached the invention of the light bulb and before he actually got that to work. So it wasn't failure, he had temporary setbacks, and he is one of the greatest inventors known to, you know, in history, to man at all time. So he didn't fail at any point because he still got to where he wanted to go. His greatness was the ability to carry on in the face of setbacks. Now, Kobe Bryant, the basketball player, actually missed more shots than he was able to score, and he was one of the greatest basketball players of all time. The evidence is out there for you to see. He is one of the greatest and most well-known basketball players, and his ability to succeed was not defined by how many times he missed, but how many times he got back up and continued to score and to aim for that goal. You have less chance of success actually reaching and achieving whatever it is that you desire if you do not try. If you do not try, you won't fail, but you also will not succeed in that area because you are not putting anything into it to try to make it work. So my advice is to continue to try. If you're passionate about something, it can be anything. It could be about a job, it could be about a life purpose, it could be about a relationship. If you are really passionate about it and you genuinely believe in your gut feeling that that is the right thing to do and you should make that work, then continue. No matter how many times you fail, you need to get back up and prove to yourself failure is just a temporary setback, and you have it within you to reach greatness. You cannot let that define you, your setbacks. You need to continue forward and strive for success and greatness. So the fear of failing is the biggest reason as to why we do not continue forward with our goals, our dreams, our passions, our desires. It is the fear of failing, of embarrassing ourselves, of not reaching where we want to be, of putting in too much work, that fear of what we actually would then have to use our time for instead of using our time for, you know, lazing around and flying in my face lazing around or watching Netflix or whatever. And that's not me taking a dig at anyone, I do that as well, but we do have to put in that time and effort, and it can be that fear around, well, what will I have to, you know, now I want to do this, well, maybe it means spending less time with my friends. I'm fearful of that. Don't be scared about losing anything out of your life. If it's your passion and you are going for it, you're going for the change, you will not lose anything valuable to you. Then people, then things will stay around you if they are meant to be there, and they will follow you on your journey if they should do. And if not, you will pick up more amazing things and experiences, people, opportunities on the way. You're not seeing any change in your life for a number of years, and you are sat there thinking, this cannot be my day-to-day for the rest of my life. I really, really, really want to change it for the better. Sit and evaluate your day to day. What is it that you are doing different? Are you not doing something different because you are scared to do it and it's the fear of failing or the fear of looking, silly or being embarrassed by it? A great example is people who want to lose weight or tone up or go to the gym, and their fear of embarrassing themselves or looking stupid or looking sweaty or not being able to lift the heaviest weights or run the longest on the treadmill is what holds them back from actually doing that. But the only change you're actually going to get if you want to reach them goals is by taking the step to go to the gym. So that is why you need to step outside your comfort zone, follow your passion. Don't care what anyone else thinks around you. You will not look stupid. You will not embarrass yourself. If you carry on and show that determination, that perseverance, it will pay off for you. I absolutely guarantee it. If you look at all the greatest people in history, they have experienced so many what people would classify as massive setbacks. Honestly, people haven't just woke up overnight and they've become millionaires or billionaires or the greatest football player of all time or greatest musician of all time. They've all had setbacks. They've all had times where people have told them no, they cannot do it, and they have proven them wrong time and time again by continuing on and not taking failure as a permanent thing. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. I wanted to do something a little bit more inspirational, motivational, whatever you want to call it, because I know people are in that very weird position at the moment of the world is changing and what do I do with my life. It's making a lot more people realize, like, okay, where I am, you're either happy with it or you're not, and you either want to change it or you're totally comfortable with it. And for those people who want to change and they're not seeing that change, it's all about changing your day-to-day, your little habits that you do in the morning. If you want to become the greatest athlete of all time, get up a little bit earlier in the morning, change your habits. Don't be scared of failing. Don't be scared of never being the greatest athlete of all time. Continue on. Your belief and your perseverance in that will make it happen for you, but you have to step outside that comfort zone. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, let me know. Give me a like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. Next time, please keep spreading the positive vibes and love. My voice just went American. And I will see you soon.